when you say,
yeah,
if you had the preference,
yes,
you would like full control over your wife.
Yeah.
What do you mean when you say that statement?
Well, I think that full control really was just basically I was embodying the simple fact that I know exactly what she can do or what she would do in every single situation. In a sense where there's no need for me to ever have to wonder what she is doing, what she would do, and what she's capable of. Does that make sense?
No. Yeah, I mean, I understand the words you're saying.
You're essentially saying you don't want your girl to have free will.
I didn't say I don't want. I said if I had to
prefer for her not to have it.
Yeah, but by prefer doesn't mean I'm seeking.
Yes, the fuck it does, Rico. That's literally what the fuck that means.
Ladies, the number one way that men who love control get to you, and I know it's so true because, you know, I hear women cry and complain all the time, oh my God, he used to be such a good guy. No, he wasn't such a good guy. He knew how to play the character in order to control you. And how do they control you? Emotional manipulation. You don't control a woman with money, looks, all that. You control a woman through her emotions, okay? And there's various ways, whether it's intercourse, because your body will release a lot of oxytocin when you sleep with a woman. That's a number one way. Another way is, these guys learn and understand is this. Most women have an inflated ego. Most women like hearing lies. So what do? They use that against you. They always agree with you. They become the guy that you talk about because you guys just yap your mouths all the time, all right? Another thing that they use is your emotional vulnerability, you know, always being there for you when you really need it, to the point that you become closer and closer and closer. And once they understand they got you, that's when they switch. Come on.
Do you know that being in love and falling in love are totally different? Someone can love you, but they are not in love with you. So I will be distinguishing the difference between being in love and falling in love, because a lot of men out there love with their women, but they are not in love with their women. So I will just focus on the differences so you and I can have a better understanding of what it is when someone tells you I love you and when they tell you they're in love with you.
No man should ever control a woman. A man that tries to control a woman and tell her what to do, where to go, and who to go with is a man that is deeply insecure and is deeply in dark energy. Love doesn't control, it doesn't restrict, it just lets everything flow. So when a woman is being controlled, that's not love, that's fear. The woman has to ask herself, what inside of me caused me to attract that kind of man? If you don't take personal responsibility for what happens in your life, then you're always a victim. And you start to blame the man, which, don't get me wrong, in this situation, yeah, the man is to blame. Yet, what did I do to open myself up, or to maybe not see the signs and not pay attention to my intuition and my power when I first saw the signs, that didn't have the courage to say, this needs to end now? And that's where one can truly grow.
Ladies, you know, can a man love two women at the same time? Yes, he can love multiple women, or 6. You know, and what you talking about love? You're talking about a man who have sex with you, have kids with you, share things with you, spend a lot of time with you. Yes, that same man, he loves you. But he can do the same thing for multiple women, right? But he's not gonna marry you because he's not in love with you. He loves you, alright? But he's not in love with you. So, if he has multiple women who he loves, when the time comes for him to settle down, he's gonna settle down with the woman that he's in love with, right? Now you will say, what's the difference? Well, the difference is, when a man is in love with a woman, that woman is like a cookie jar, right? But the only thing with this cookie jar is have different cookies in it. So every day, he knows he's going to have a different cookie. Because every day to him, that woman is like a new one. It's like somebody new to him every day, right? It's not the same woman. It's a different woman. That's how a man feel about a woman when he's in love with that woman, right? So yes, a man can love multiple women, Right? Do a lot of things, have kids with them. But when he do find a woman who he fall in love with, he will walk away and leave the woman who he loves and go and marry to that woman who is in love with. Right? So yes, he can love you, but not in love with you. Alright? So sometimes you might say, oh, he told me that he loved you. Yes, he loves you. Really, honestly, he loves you. He's just not in love with you. Right? And some of you are going to say, oh, but, oh, men this and men that. That's just men. Right? That's why I said to you, a man knows his wife within the first 6 months. He met her. Right? So if you're with a man 10, 15, 20 years, yes, he loves you. He's just not in love with you. And that's why when he find another woman who he is in love with, he will leave you and go and marry to that woman. Right? Because to him, that woman is the one. She is special. And that's how she makes him feel. Alright? So, now I hope this answers your question. Right? Okay, ladies? Please like and share.
The distinction between being in love with someone and loving someone can be nuanced and subjective. That can also vary based on individual experiences and interpretations. Let's have a closer look at the common differences between being in love and being loved. Loving someone often refers to a deep emotional attachment, care, and concern towards another person. It may involve the feeling of warmth, affection, and sense of responsibilities towards their well-being. This is you just being concerned about their day-to-day life, their health, how is everything going with them. This type of love, can be present in different types of relationships, including friendships, familiar bonds, and romantic partners. Let's talk about being in love with someone. Being in love with someone typically involves romantic and intense feelings, attraction, passion, and infatuation. It often includes strong emotional closeness, physical intimacy, and a deep connection with another person. Being in love can evoke a sense of euphoria and heightened emotion, and this leads to individuals choosing to prioritize the happiness and the fulfillment of their romantic partners. Those are the clear difference between being in love and being loved. Someone can love you, but they are not in love with you. Someone can love you, they can wish the best for you, they can want the best things to happen for you, they can pray for the best things to happen in your life, they can check up on you, ask after your well-being and how you're doing, but they are not in love with you.
I want to say love is a lie, but the whole idea of love has been weaponized against women in order to get us to provide labor for free or without any kind of recognition or acknowledgement. Like if someone's a chef and they cook food for people, that's a job. And they're compensated for it and they're appreciated for it. If someone is a nanny and they take care of children, that's a job and they're compensated for and appreciated for it. If someone is a SW or even a mistress, they're usually compensated and appreciated for it. But when you become a wife, when you become a mother, you are not compensated or appreciated for any of these things. I don't have a good relationship with my mother. And the older I've gotten, the more I'm like, oh, okay. Even though I don't think she was a very good mother, it makes a lot of sense why she wasn't a good mother. Because what a thankless, shitty job for 98% of women who occupy it. And we're supposed to do it all with a smile on our face because love. Because you love your children. That's why you take care of them. Because you love your husband. That's why you married him. That's why you feed him. That's why you pick up after him. That's why you forgive him. That's why you're romantic with him, even if you don't feel like being romantic with him. Because he has needs and you love him and it's your job to fulfill them. It's your job to bend over backwards for your husband and your children because you love them and that's your reward. If you date men, it's supposed to be because you're trying to find love. Any other reason would be shallow, and you're a shallow, vapid bitch if you have any other intention or reason to want to date a man. Men, on the other hand, well, they have to ease into love. They're not so prone to love. They're visual creatures. They want someone who's super young. They want someone who's super hot. You know, love isn't so much their thing. Sure, they love their children, but not like a mother could love their children. Sure, they love their wives, but not like a woman loves a man. You see how love implicates women and lets men off the hook? Now, again, I'm not saying love doesn't exist, but kind of like religion, it started off being a quintessential part of being a human being and a very real thing, and it was hijacked and weaponized against the people that it was made to oppress.
Got to be very careful when loving a woman. This is why. Women love men based on what they can provide, whereas men, they love women based on who they are as a person. And that's why when there's a breakup, the man takes it so much harder because he just lost someone that he loved unconditionally. Whereas the woman, she just lost another opportunity that could easily be replaced by the next guy.
Men love women far differently than women love men. Men love women for real. Women love men.
Women love men for real.
No, they don't. Women love men under the premise that they provide value. Men love women idealistically. Women tend to love men more from an opportunistic standpoint.
Let's talk about weaponizing love. A lot of men and women out there do weaponize love, but I'm focusing on men today. What does it mean for someone to weaponize love? How do men weaponize love? Love can be weaponized in so many ways. In the context of manipulation, exploiting someone for personal gain, and taking total control of an individual. Let's have a closer look at different ways love can be weaponized. Emotional manipulation. Men can weaponize love through emotional manipulation. If a man understands that you love him and you feel some certain type of way towards him, he can use that to manipulate you because they believe that you might think that they have your interest at heart and all they want to do would be to protect you and not to hurt you. So they can use that to get things from you. They can use that to have total control over you. It's just a mindset of you thinking that this person loves me because this person loves me. This person cannot hurt me. This person cannot harm me. Rather, this person will be out there to protect me. That alone is enough for them to get whatever they want to get out of you, to control you and to use you the way they want to use you, because you can do anything they ask you to do, believing that this person will never hurt you. They also use conditional love. Have you heard of conditional love? Love that comes with condition. If a man understands that you love him and he has told you that he loves you, that's the man that has bad intent towards you. He can use that love to punish you or reward you. He can ask you to do something and you will get his full love in return. Or he can punish you if you don't do what he wants you to do. Oh, I love you not because I said I love you. I will not be able to do this. I only love you when you do the right thing. If you don't do the right thing, if you hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. Isolation and dependency. There are some men out there, once you get into a relationship with them, they would isolate you from the rest of your family members and your friends, and they will make you depend on them. I think this is a tactic that narcissists they use to make you depend on them. I think there's also a term called triangulation as well. A narcissist also uses the triangulation tactics as well. So the man would isolate you from your friend, your family member, and make you depend on them 100%. That's not love. That's manipulation. Love bombing. Have you been in a situation where you just met someone, you guys just got talking, and this person is being too sweet? The person is overwhelming you with attention, praises, love talk, or affection. I feel this way towards you, you're the best. Have you been in that situation? The person doesn't know much about you. You guys just started talking. He's love bombing you. It's a manipulation tactics as well. Most of the time when people love bomb you, they just want you to believe that they have this level of affection for you and they want you to give in and fall for them and fall in love with them and love them, and then they will turn around and show their true color. They will turn around and execute what their initial plan is. So you just have to be careful. Other ways men use love to oppress women, other ways men weaponize love against women includes emotional blackmail, financial control, and gaslighting.
Some signs that you might be experiencing weaponized incompetence in your relationship. You do all the household labor because it's an extra step to ask your partner to do it and then have to explain exactly how to do it. You feel resentment because you feel like you're doing a disproportionate amount of the work. Even if your partner agrees to do the work, you're over-explaining the steps or constantly looking over their shoulders or just expecting that you're gonna have to redo all of it. You don't feel like you can go to your partner when something unexpected comes up. You think they're lying about their ability to do shared responsibilities. You're constantly hearing things like, I don't know how to do that, or I'm just not good at it, or you're better than me.
I'm going to show you guys what weaponized incompetence is. It's something my baby daddy loves to use against me very, very well. Last night, I went to bed at like 10. I asked him, hey, can you please clean the bottles, right? And he did. He cleaned the bottles. They're right there. He also did not put dinner away. So there's that. He was in charge of dinner last night and he just ordered us food. I can't do that because I'm not allowed to do that. But anyway, he left dishes in the sink because I didn't ask him to do that either. So if I were to ask, oh, and he left a pan over there. So if I were to ask him, hey, I thought I asked you to pick up the kitchen last night. Oh, well, you only told me to clean the bottles and I did clean the bottles. You didn't tell me to put the food away and you didn't tell me to clean up the rest of it. That's weaponized incompetence. He's playing stupid to basically win an argument. Don't settle for this. And I'm going to start doing videos like this because I can't get out of my situation anytime soon. There are many different forms of abuse, and this is one of them.
Thing is, I'm under this thing called weaponized incompetence, and that means that men act clueless and they pretend to be clueless, and they do it long enough to where women just stop asking. And you guys know what you're doing. First, it's daddy. Every year, your only job in Thanksgiving is to set the table. Only job. Every year, you forget to put out cups. And make it look nice.
All I had was a tablecloth. That's it.
Literally.
You know the energy to expand it.
But that's what we're talking about.
What happened to when I was expanding it today? Be honest.
You scratched your arm.
I not scratched. Pinched.
I asked my husband to put the leftovers away yesterday. It was ravioli. This is a trash bag. That's a trash bag.
Say it with me now. Weaponized incompetence. In a relationship, your partner's using their lack of knowledge as an excuse as to why they did the action that they did the way they did. She asked him for a favor, which was to put the leftovers away, which he did. And obviously him putting the leftovers away isn't a problem. It's how he stored the leftovers in the refrigerator that is a problem. And now this is going to be an argument because she's going to go confront him and say, hey, sweetheart, when you put the leftovers away, you put them in a plastic bag. And he's going to say, well, at least I put them away. That's what you asked me to do, so I did it. Meanwhile, he may not be acknowledging, or he may know why this is a problem, but he's using his lack of intelligence as an excuse as to why he did what he did. He's going to say in return, well, you didn't tell me I had to put it in the Tupperware. You didn't tell me I had to put it in the storage container. How am I supposed to know how to store that? Just because I didn't put it away the way you would put it away doesn't mean that it's wrong. I did what you asked me to do. It's never good enough for you. That's more likely how that conversation would go if she approaches him, because he seems like that type of person based off this one simple action. And of course, this tends to bleed out in other areas of the relationship. So for example, when it comes to cleaning the household, a lot of men like this would assume that their wife or their girlfriend are responsible solely for cleaning the place that they both live in. Therefore, when their girlfriend or wife confront them and say, hey, I need help cleaning an apartment, I need help cleaning the house. Well, you never told me and I don't know how to clean. This is your responsibility. You're always the one who's supposed to clean because this is a woman's job. And more likely, it'll become an issue. Weaponized incompetence is not an excuse to do shitty things in a relationship. You are an adult. You have access to Google. You have access to YouTube. You know what you can even do on top of that? You can ask your partner, hey, how did you want me to store this ravioli? What was the best way to store it so that way it stays as fresh as possible? Instead of, let me grab a trash bag and wrap it around the bowl and put it in the refrigerator, because that's how food is supposed to be stored. That's how my mom always stored food, with a trash bag. Come on now.
If women would just let men lead, there would be literally no reason for marriage counseling. It would cease to exist because relationship satisfaction would be at an all-time high, right? Wrong. That little intro is what we hear from men who run podcasts, alpha motivation accounts, toxic masculinity, true masculinity rhetoric. This explains it so perfectly. Yet again, in another example of character blindness, we have all kind of men who go on to propagate and perpetuate these ideas and notions and beliefs and perspectives that women don't let men do this, or if a woman does this, it creates this outcome. However, the men that are saying these things are blind to the fact that these situations, reactions, relationship dynamics are in direct response to a failing of the man. So let's go back to weaponized incompetence. You got a guy who doesn't want to change the diaper because he's weaponizing his incompetence because he wants his wife or his girlfriend to do it for him. But instead, he would rather complain about it and say it in a passive-aggressive way that creates a situation for her where she has to commission him to change the diaper. Yes, you change the diaper when it smells like poo. What do you expect? And then he's like, wow, you're kind of grumpy. That's kind of masculine of you. You're in your masculine energy. Now I'm going to go cheat. Now I'm going to break up with you. Now I'm going to get in a divorce. Now I'm going to freaking lock up and stonewall you because I don't like the way you're treating me because you're not nice. And she wouldn't have even had to come at him like that if he would have done it in the first place. So all this stuff that men complain about is 9 times out of 10 a reaction to something he is blind to the fact that he is failing to do, that she has to compensate to save the marriage, to feed the children, to change the diaper.
I already made a video yesterday, which I'm going to link at the end of this video if you want to see that video. In that video, I spoke about how a lot of men don't know how to do house chores and how incapable a lot of men are, but they enslave women with house chores. I also inserted clips of women sending their partners to grocery stores to shop for the family, and a lot of men struggled with that. So right now, a lot of women believe that some men are being intentional with that. They act like they don't know. They act like they have no idea of what's going on. They use the word weaponizing incompetence. So those men, they act like they are so incompetent, and then they use it against those women because they don't want to do that chore or those chores. They act like, okay, I can't do it, and then they make the woman understand that it's better for you to do it than you putting me through doing it because it's going to cost you much energy, take most of your time. Why don't you go ahead and do it? All the time they act like they have no clue, they can't do this, they can't help, they can't assist because they don't want to assist. And to them, they feel like the woman is supposed to be the one doing all them chores. Why is she trying to force me to assist with the household chores? So guys, this is all I have for you guys in this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Have you ever had an experience where you were in love with someone and the person used it against you? Feel free to share your story with us in the comment section. Have you ever had a partner, or do you have a partner that is weaponizing being incompetent? Please share your story with us also in the comment section. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.